Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Happy Thursday to you all. I don't know where I don't ever know. We're between Dusty and now Danny. Those two are always driving, but Dusty always seems to be dressed up in like work stuff. Danny seems to be the sun's out there. She's relaxing. I don't know where she's going, but it just looks like a lot more fun than what I got going on. So wherever you're going, Danny, keep your hands at 10 and 2, 10 and 2. All my drivers on there, 10 and 2, please, 10 and 2. Antoinette, we got some new names on here. Alicia, guys, Alicia is taking things to the next level. I'm blessed and fortunate. She is been with she's in the Florida and she's taking on a leadership role in Florida. And hats off to her. Way to go, Alicia. So good morning, all. I'm John Hart. I'm going to start off Kevin Jones by telling you guys I've been lying in front of you now for several months. Several months I've been lying in front of you. And I got to thank James who came over, the videographer guy that you guys all see, James. Guys, he's really smart. He's like one of those millennials that knows all this stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you, D. Here's the lie. This microphone all was never on. I've been just using my webcam for the last several months because I didn't know how to use this microphone, but I would put it in front of you all like this to make you seem like I had it all set up. But see, if you notice, I can come like this now and I sound a little bit different. I can come like this, but we have it now set up. I'm learning these tools and look at this all. So I met with remember I told you the Real is going to be one of we got a guest speaker now coming down to Key West. I had 3 people buy tickets yesterday. Rebecca and I had a coaching conversation yesterday, and I was a little down and out, a little pissed off and frustrated with some things. I said, that's it. I'm freaking going out and I'm getting tickets. I did it. 3 tickets sold yesterday, everybody. 3 tickets sold yesterday. So guess what? I am down to only 9 tickets for people outside of Florida. So I can only take 30 down in Key West all from outside of Charlotte because I got to have 20 in the area to be there. So if you haven't got tickets yet, you better get them. Jay, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. But anyway, so the guy, Drew Thompson, he's going to be coming down speaking. He's the head person out of Real, the entire company, 25,000 agents. He's the head person. And he's like, Brock, I need you to get the Stream Deck. I need you to get the Stream Deck to start coaching and doing this. And I'm like, I don't know what the Stream Deck is. I don't understand it. So this box over here, I don't have it right here next to me, has been sitting with me for 2 months, sitting there staring at me. And I was like, I don't know what to do with it. How many of you, put a 7 in the chat, have something sitting in front of you, a to-do list, an activity, something that's holding you back? I don't know what it is. Put a 7 in the chat if it's been staring you in the face, but you haven't done anything with it. Just staring at you in front of your face. Let me see. I don't have the box. I must have threw the box out because I was mad at the box. I get mad at the box and then I beat it and I said, "Box." I said it. I pulled it out and James came over and he helped me set it up. And so now I'm in a tutorial stage. How many 7s? Let me take a look. I only have 10 chats. Are you kidding me? Nobody else has problems, just me. I just thought it was okay. All right, good. Good. We got a lot of 7s, so I'm not the only one. By the way, all, where the hell's Derek? Where's Derek? I was just looking around here. I'm like, where is he? I'm just chit-chatting away. Now I'm like, hello, Derek. Did I not get a message all? Did I not get anything? Let's see. Um, let's see.
Brock, one thing we know about Derek is that we never know where he's going to be coming in from.
That is true. Maybe
I mean,
Derek's on here with an incognito name, Rebecca. Maybe he's got an incognito name. Derek, hello, Derek. Hello, Derek could be that Zoom user right now, and I don't even know about it. All right. Okay. Well, guess what, all?
You got Kevin. He'll take over.
I'm gonna have, yeah, you know what? Kevin Jones, he doesn't even know this yet. Just like I didn't know Derek, Kevin Jones is like, wait a minute, what are you guys talking about? we're just gonna have fun today. We're gonna have fun today. We're gonna figure it out on a Thursday and what we're going to do all. And you're gonna see us. You'll be like, you know what, Brock, you talk a big game. Let's see how you handle it spontaneously. So here we are. And Kevin Jones, I'm going to have a conversation with you. I'm going to have a conversation with maybe John Hart. I'm going to have a conversation with anybody who wants to have a conversation today. We're just going to open up the microphone. So let's get started, everybody. It is 8:22. Good morning, everybody. My name's Coach Brock Zevan, life coach, business coach, real estate coach, and a DAD. And guys, I don't want to sound arrogant, but we crushed those middle school girls yesterday. We beat those girls down. I told them they were talking smack, and I said, listen, girls, I just want to say something to you. I never lose twice. Never. And one of the dads turned around and he looked at me. He goes, really? I said, no, we're not losing twice, Terry. We're not losing twice. And then Hudson, one of the guys that he was on here a couple weeks ago or last week, and he was on. And I was like, Hudson, we're not losing. Guys, you want to know what we beat them by? Brielle goes, they started having, you guys are too much bigger. 18-3. 18-3. So when I tell you we dominated them, we didn't give them a single ounce. I was like, enough, girls. We're going to shut it down today. We had a guy in the goal. He was a goalie. He was like a Division I volleyball guy. Like he's freaking like 7 foot tall, wingspan of like the whole net. We're like, Josh, you're in the goalie. You don't let anything by you. We called his nickname was the Wall, Kevin. He was called the Wall. And yeah, Rebecca, we weren't messing around last night. We get serious with this stuff. And all we needed was like 4 dads who bought in, and we just freaking went at it. But it was fun though. I came out not injured. Well, let's just be honest, a little injured. I hurt my ankle, and you know what? This is D. Listen to this. This is how my daughter treats. How many of you have you want a little sympathy? This is the bamboo, the boomerang that comes back at you, because when Brielle hurts herself, I'm like, Brielle, seriously, come on, toughen up. Want a little ice? You'll be fine. Toughen up. So of course, what are the chances that I hurt my ankle right next to her? So I hurt my ankle, and I was just like, and like I was limping. Brielle goes to me, Dad, you hurt? You hurt, Dad? I said, no, I'm fine. Toughen up, Dad. Toughen up. Walk it off. Walk it off, Dad. I was like, I'm trying to. I was hurting though a little bit. But I did walk it off, and I was fine, Christian. I walked it off and I was fine. But this morning I could not go for my run. So Leo and I had a nice little walk this morning. So I actually had a lot of good things from the video I watched. But so let's open it up. Kevin Jones, brother, good morning to you, man. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Powerhouse. Every day wake up's a good day. What about you?
It is a good day. It is, even though I'm a little sore today, it is a good day today. So for those that don't know you, and you've been coming on now for what, almost over a month and a half now?
Something like that. It's a daily routine now.
Yeah.
You're stuck with me.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about where you're calling us from, so people can get a little perspective. So if they're a little tired, once they hear where you're calling us from, they might be like, well, I guess I'm not that tired.
We're in Pismo Beach, California, about halfway between LA and San Francisco. Just absolute paradise.
Yeah, I was told that if I go down to California, like San Diego area, some places like around where you live, they said that I probably won't come back. And that is because I actually did that for Charlotte. I never been to Charlotte. I went down to Charlotte when I graduated college, and I was 22 years old. Really green. I never came back home. And 57 of my family members, aunts, uncles, cousins have moved down here now. And real estate was really good, Kevin, when the families all came down, until like 4 of them all got the real estate license. So now it's just like, it's like a battle when it comes. What? Who? Uncle Bob's selling? Oh, it's like everybody's racing to his house. So, so tell us a little about, you're in the real estate world, right? How long you been in real estate, man?
Been in real estate 33 years, so just a beginner. And
Yeah, just starting off.
Absolutely loved it. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. Came in 92, 94. We had the big earthquake in the San Fernando Valley. Spent the first 20 years in Burbank, Los Angeles area. And then 2010, we moved up here after we were done raising our kids. So yeah, it's
Now you started young, didn't you?
started young in real
With the
estate.
no, with the kids, with the kiddos and stuff, because you married because your marriage and everything else. Because I remember you telling me your kids. I'm like, damn, your kids are much older than mine.
So I was blessed. I met my wife in high school. We were high school sweethearts. I was 18. She was 17. She was still in high school when we got married, but I was leaving for boot camp. So we got married and she finished up. We got married in her Christmas break. I took off in April and then June when she graduated, she flew out after boot camp. And that was, now it's been 40 plus years.
Wow, that's amazing. That you know, I was sharing somebody a story of my parents, and it's a so my mom all was in the convent, so she was going to be a nun, and she was 7 years in the convent, and on your seventh year, they bring you in. They say, "Hey, you staying or going? You staying or going?" So they have like a cutoff of whether or not they're going to spend the rest of their life in the house of God, whatever you want to call it. So she's like, I think I want a break. I think this is not what I want to do the rest of my life. So she leaves, and Amy Kane on here? So Amy's mother is my mom's sister, and my aunt, or my aunt asks my mom, she's like, hey, do you want to go out? And she's like, sure, I haven't been out in forever. So they go out, and I don't know how it all happened really, but the story is that they went out, and then my it's funny, at the time period my uncle was actually doing a blind date with my mom, and my uncle married my sister, or my mom's sister. I know it's crazy back then, but I don't ask questions. I just run with it. So my mom ends up meeting my dad at the time. And this is how suave my dad is, how much he swiped him off or swiped her off her feet, Jack. So my mom lived in Maine. My dad lived on a farm in New York. My dad somehow he was working in Boston at the time, and they were all there in Massachusetts. And so they went out. My dad meets my mom. 6 weeks later, he's like, why don't you come down and meet my parents? So they get in the car in Massachusetts, and they're driving down to New York. At a gas station, 6 weeks after meeting him, my dad gets on his knee and proposes to her in a gas station. I was like, yeah, Danny. I said the same thing with my eyeballs. I was like, what'd you do, Dad? I was just like, and Mom said, yeah, Mom, what were you thinking? Seriously? But they've been married going on, I'll be 47, 48 years. And so they give me a perspective that sometimes it's all not about how long you're with somebody. It's more about what you're doing when you're with somebody, and how efficient and how purposeful and passionate and you are. So, Kevin, let me ask you this. Being that you've been married for a while, I'm sure you got a lot of experiences, you got a lot of stories. What would be one that we know we talked on Figured Out Friday, but what was one of your challenging moments that you had where you're like, you and the wife came in, you're like, damn, hon, I don't know. I'm not too sure how we're gonna figure this out. I'm not too sure about this. You got any of those moments in there right now that maybe somebody might be thinking and feeling the same thing? They're down and out, that you could share with us today?
I'm truly blessed. Just a little backstory real quick. We met in high school. I hate the word white. I'm just your average American. My wife is Filipino. And so uh, when I met her, she was less than 5 feet tall, less than 100 pounds. And I was pretty wild and crazy. Just tell you a real quick story. First time I ever took on our date, we went to a movie theater. And a buddy of mine, I can't remember which one. It's in Hollywood, one of the bigger ones. We sat down in the theater. We're the only ones there. The lights are still on. And a buddy of mine, Raul, walks in and he goes, hey, let me talk to you real quick. We went in the bathroom and we smoked a joint. And I came back and I sat down next to her, and she goes, "Yeah, that doesn't work." And I was like, "I'm sorry, I'll give you all the time in the world for you." She goes, "No." She goes, "If you're gonna do drugs, let's get out of here right now." I was absolutely dominated by this little tiny Asian girl, and I was just sitting there going, "What the heck?" And so yeah, it's kind of a funny story, but we have our boundaries. We're open. It's all about communication. One thing that Sharon with Real says is be where your feet are. And he didn't come up with that. Somebody else did. I can't remember who, but he says it all the time. But if you just be where your feet are, be passionate, be in the moment. I do a lot of guest speaking for ex-military PTSD for homeless people, and people get depressed, they get anxious. I break it down very simply. If you're feeling depressed, you're thinking about the past too much.
Mm.
If you're anxious, you're thinking about the future too much. And they're like, well, how do we get out of it? Just be in the moment. Just, be with whoever you're with. I mean, we go to restaurants and we watch people at tables and they're sitting there texting or they're doing whatever on their phone. They're not in the moment with the person. Number one thing with the relationship, be in the moment with the person. Secondary, just you got to enjoy life and enjoy that person, soak them up. And yeah, just communicate. When I meet people that are just getting married, I tell them communication is everything, no matter how good or bad. Been married 40 years. I still make my wife cry 2 or 3 times a year because I'm over direct, but she always knows where I am. I always know where she is. We don't have a problem. Just open up that communication. And being ex-military, it's funny. I had a conversation with an ex-military guy, one of my clients this week, and I said permission to speak freely. That was as an enlisted person, it's something you would say to an officer because officers can get you in trouble if you say the wrong thing if they don't like it. So maybe just have the dialogue, with your husband or wife, and just say permission to speak freely, and then just if they say yes, say it, whatever it is. But if they know where you're at, they cannot. And another thing, you can't change another person. If you want change in another person, Matthew Ferry was my life coach for like 10 years, and the interesting thing with him is he would one thing he taught me was that if you want change in another person, you have to change yourself first. Everybody wants to be in rapport with the other person. And so a lot of what you see that you don't like in them is they're mimicking something within you. And we're always focused on something that bugs us. And so if you want change in somebody else, change yourself first. So
I was
sorry about that. I
was
kind of went
taking
off on that.
No, you were good. I was doing two things. One is I was taking notes. Two, Derek texted me and he landed in Chicago and he got all messed up. So Derek, I knew as Rebecca, as you stated, like we knew he was someplace doing something and probably got all messed up in time. And so he was texting me. And to me, that's really cool because no matter where you are, he immediately was like, shit, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And that to me means a lot. They take ownership for what it is. But I'm going to go back to what you were saying because I was writing some notes down. And like I said, I wasn't prepared at all. So, like, here I am as an Eagle Scout, be prepared. But all I had was my notes, but I'm writing them like just like this on my MLS report that I have over here. But I wrote down, be where your feet are.
Yeah.
There's so many times in life that we're not where our feet are. We're thinking something else. Like, so Bryce and I drop him off at school and I drop off Brielle at school. And every Monday I have a conversation with them. And my question is, what did you enjoy? What are the top two things you liked about the weekend? And it's funny on what they say, because guess what? When you said communication, I wrote down, don't assume. Don't assume your memory and your favorite part is the same thing a 6-year-old's favorite part is. Don't assume that my favorite moment is not what Brielle's favorite moment is. Don't assume that my communication with my significant other is the same way she received it as I sharing it. Don't assume how I receive it is the same way she's giving it.
Yeah.
So in the communication part, what I learned when I studied the 5 love languages and being divorced, guess what? I wanted to figure out what was wrong with me, not what was wrong with Laura, not what was wrong with anybody else that was in my environment. What was wrong with me? What did I need to learn about myself? And not so much what's wrong with me, but understanding myself. Because I love that line is you need to work on yourself first. Nobody else. If you haven't read the book, Let Them, this talks about that. This talks about certain things of just let them think what they want. But most importantly, let me think how I'm going to move forward. Take ownership of what that looks like, because I 100% agree with you. Because when you ask permission to speak freely, here's the thing, and I'll add a B to this. I am a fixer. I'm a fixer-upper. I want to fix your problem. And ladies, correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes you just want a listening partner, not a fixing partner. And so I have to ask not only permission to speak freely, but I also have to ask permission, am I here to listen or here to fix? I need some help with that. Because I will go in a different direction and my brain will start thinking like, all right, well, this is what you do. This is how, because that's what my job is to fix your problem. And so it's more along the lines of understanding that, you know what, I should lean into this and listen. How many, ironically, I was listening to something today. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. But Kevin, how many times do we want to run our mouth faster than we want to listen?
And asking questions.
Hmm.
You know, Brock, what is it that I can do for you today? How are you feeling? How does that make you feel when I do this? Another thing that I do is every morning when I wake up, I think of 100 ways that I could show or tell my wife I love her.
Hmm.
It's creating that passion after 40 years. And it's funny, guys ask me, how can you stay with the same woman? We've been together 42 years. How can you do? And it's just like, how can you be with a different woman every day? It's all in perspective. My perspective, you put 10 people at a table with an apple in the middle, you're going to get 10 different perspectives. And if you can remember that, it'll help you. And then just like Brock said, confirm what they're saying. So what I hear you saying is this. No, that's not what I'm saying. Oh, tell me more. We're
Yeah.
salespeople, and you got to be a salesperson within your relationship.
It is. And those that have been through either divorce, those that have been in a long-term relationship. I mean, I think Kevin, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when I see my parents, the communication is important. But I would agree with your buddies when they say, damn, man. Like I think being in a long-term relationship is more challenging than being in a short-term relationship. Would
Could
you
be.
agree?
I haven't had a lot of short-term relationships. I've been married most of my life. I couldn't relate to that, but you know, it, with any relationship, friends, family, spouse, it's you got to work on it every day.
Hmm.
You got to work on it every day. So,
It's
but
not a
yeah,
part-time job.
it's a full-time job.
Mhm.
100% is, you know. So yeah, that's, but just being in the moment, respecting the person, enjoying the person, and yeah, having fun. So that's all we do, man.
You know, it's Rebecca says never stop flirting and dating each other.
100%.
One of the things that I've learned is date night, and I also learn um is is being committed to the relationship and timing. So maybe there's somebody else who's on here who's a workaholic in that we're constantly working, and that's where we focus on. And so being an alcoholic, just because I stopped my drinking doesn't mean the disease left me. It just means that I'm addicted to something else. And we all have our own addictions, whether we want to admit it or not. There's addictions to different things that we have in life. And it's not like it's what I've learned It's not a problem unless I abuse it. If I don't know how to control it and manage it. So when I recognize I have issues, so when we have date night or Tuesday nights are the nights that I stop work at 5 o'clock. Because I will continue to work until I feel the need, and then I'll get up again and do it all over again. It's just how I operate. So I have to have cutoff times. Tonight, because of a situation that took place, I'm going down to Charlotte to have an investors meeting. What I've learned, the old Brock would have been like, yeah, I'm going to this. I'll see you later. Now I ask for permission. Whether you want to think of me as like, what a loser. You got to ask permission. You're a grown man. I don't care about that. I had to grow through that though. And I'm sure, Kevin, you had to grow through some things as well. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure a wild and crazy man smoking dope in the bathroom, probably you had to work on yourself. You're like, ooh, wait a minute. It's kind of like when the record stops. It's like, wait a minute. But now I don't care. But I want to ask, like, hey, do you mind if I go? Because now I'm not going to get home till probably 9 and I go to bed early. So like by the time I get home, I usually like to be in bed by 10. I mean, then you figure out you're going to eat, say a quick hello. Like you only got about 40 minutes together today, but asking permission, Wendy was like, yeah, that's not a problem at all. But she also appreciated me asking her, not just assuming that that was the case. And so, Kevin, I'll let you close this out, Kevin, with any thoughts or anything from our conversation we had today. And I appreciate you also being spontaneous with us. And you can thank John Hart for throwing you out there too.
In closing, the not taking the other person for granted, um, creating appreciation. Every time my wife does something, I let her know, even if it's just making dinner, washing my coffee mug, whatever it may be. I let her know that I appreciate her. I appreciate all the things that she does. And when was the last time that you appreciated the closest people in your life and everything that they do for you, with you? And we go out to lunch every Friday. It's in my schedule. I only work 4.5 days in real estate, and the at 12 o'clock is my most important appointment of the week. We go out to lunch and we spend the afternoon together. We get done with lunch, and I say thank you for your time, energy, and commitment to me, and having lunch with me every Friday. So to close out, be appreciative of the time that they spend with you, because we never know when our last breath is going to be, for us or for them. And just be in the moment, give them everything you got, and just spread a little love today. That's what I have like to close it out. So
I've never seen so many hearts on these emojis. Did anybody else get a stream deck? Because there's this heart. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think John Hart even put the emoji hearts there. Look at him. Look at those hearts that John Hart's got going on over there. A lot of hearts today. A lot of hearts. A lot of look at now. Rebecca's just showing off because her camera does something when she does signals and stuff. It does automatically. But I 100% like appreciate you, Kevin, in gratitude of you showing up every day and sharing, today spontaneously. I just wrote down like lunch because it's I don't know, I just think that's so cool in order to do that. I'm always thinking dinner, but how great would it be to like kind of do a lunch spontaneously or to put that in a routine and do something? Because here's the thing I'll close with. You are not guaranteed tomorrow. Not one single person is guaranteed tomorrow. And we take for granted our life, our day. And so we get confused between the granted and the guaranteed. So today, I appreciate y'all being on here. Maybe this message was supposed to be meant for you today, because we all say that sometimes we weren't planning on this. Chad was sick this past week. Derek missed it today. And whatever message that was meant for you was meant for today. because we didn't have this plan. Kevin didn't have plan. He was talking. I didn't plan I was going to talk today. So maybe it was something for you. Maybe when you get done this, you're going to text your significant other, a parent, a loved one, and you're going to appreciate them and you're going to thank them. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. Take 2 minutes when we get done this and to do that to somebody and watch the reaction. Be like, whoa, what's going on? What happened? And that in itself should be a reaction to yourself that you don't do it enough because you caught them by surprise. Kevin Jones, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, brother, for showing up every day. Thank you so much for being on.
I appreciate you. Love it, man.
All right, all guys, we'll be back tomorrow for Figure It Out Friday Authors Edition. Chad and Michelle will be our special guest. I'll just be in the background over here listening and chiming in when I can, but I'm going to keep my mouth closed. I can do that, guys. I can keep my mouth closed. But
We
we
look
got a
forward to it
special author
tomorrow.
edition. Yes, Michelle, I appreciate you. Who's the guest? Real quick.
Hala Nicola with home equity and reverse mortgages. You don't want to miss it.
I love it all. I love when we get to talk about this type of stuff because we don't know enough about it. We really don't. So we'll be here tomorrow, 8:15, Authors Edition. Invite somebody who's trying to do something with their house, with their finances, and just a little mindset all at the same time. Guys, I appreciate y'all. Kevin, thank you so much. John Hart, thanks for the recommendation. For all of you on here, have a phenomenal, healthy, blessed day. See ya.